standings and on team morale.
Back here in Queens, welcome in John Shambi and Chris Singleton. We've got one out here in inning number 7. With a single base runner because of all the power, they are dangerous to tie this thing up or take the lead.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
And a swing and a miss. That's out number 2. Brandon Drury to the plate. And there's a strike.
Right now they're looking for something hit hard into the gaps, give them an opportunity with 2 outs to score that run from first.
Next offering in the dirt, and a count 2-1.
Yeah, when you get to the big leagues, you think about filling up the back of your bubblegum card. This guy needs a couple of them to put all the.
And he got him. Strike 3, and that'll retire this. Bottom of the 7th. Here's the catcher for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez. Ohtani back to work. Alvarez started after it, tried to hold up. Now a look to first. He did not go around. The pitch. That misses. Now 2-0. Singing Shohei Ohtani has been as advertised. Rookie of the Year in 18, MVP in 21. He has impacted the game in a major way. And then, of course, he was on the cover of MLB The Show in 2022.
Well, he's doing something that we've never seen done before, and just absolutely phenomenal that he can be that dominant on the mound and be one of the top hitters in the game. And just watching that, it's got to take your breath away a little bit if you're a manager or a teammate to see this actually happening before your eyes.
The 3-2 is off the outside edge, and that is ball 4.
Oh, looking for a swing and miss right there, or for the ump to help him out and make a call with that last pitch, but neither happened. Close pitch, but a good take to earn that walk.
That one to first, and there's a hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out. Here's Mark Cannon. Corner infielders up on the grass expecting a bunt. Lifted in the air right center field. Renfroe on his horse. Brings it in with a nice running grab. And there's one away. Here's Starling Marte.
He's looking for a ground ball to get a double play and out of this jam.
Activity in the bullpen for the Angels. Andrew Wantz getting loose out there. Moore, the lefty, warming up as well. Now this ball is down and could score a run. The throw in. Not in time. He scores. And they take a 2-run lead. So 1 out with 2 aboard. And now Brandon Nimmo. Good contact guy, good defender. Over to first, and he saved. Ground ball could be 2. Drury to second, but safe at first. It's a fielder's choice. And now here's Jeff McNeil. Comes up empty on the swing. 0-2 now.
He has a tendency to chase out of the zone, and that slider that's down, that's one of his money pitches to get that swing and miss.
And down on strikes he goes. Good job at damage. Back here at the ballpark. Now it's the DH, Gio Urshela. He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
Toss to Alonso. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Ohapi up to the plate for the 3rd time as he looks at 1 down low. And a foul ball. So now 1-2. Swing and a line drive, base hit out into center field. So a man aboard now with one away.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. Ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it. Here's a run-scoring opportunity. You definitely got to push something across because it's not going to get any easier. You get to the ninth, get a lockdown closer ready to come in.
In the dirt, blocked. Tag, safe at second. And good hustle to move up. That's a wild pitch. Ohapi over at second, one down. Runs it up to 96 to record the punch out. Taylor Ward, the next to hit for the Angels. First pitch, and that's in for a strike. And ball one. Swings and misses. 1-2. Popped up to the left, into foul ground. And he makes the catch. And that will end the inning. A new arm into the game, the righty, Andrew Wants.
Now, just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their guys a chance to fight back into the game.
Alonso, the leadoff batter, as he swings through it for strike one. Next offering is fouled back. Line drive. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And a quick out, number one.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it. But in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Next offering is in for a strike. Action in the Angels bullpen. Ryan Tepera up and loosening in the pen. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Ugly cut on the slider for strike three. Here's Francisco Lindor. Up the middle. Tosses to first. Lindor retiring. Out. All set for the start of the inning. And now batting Mike Trout. And a good fastball to start him off. That's strike one. Verlander, a 6'5" righty, 235 pounds. He's the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner. And that one hammered. That's back. Gone.
Well, that one got in the jet stream on a line drive. We saw the numbers on the backs of the jerseys of the outfielders, which is usually bad news, and all of a sudden they're back in this ballgame.
Adam Ottavino getting the call to the mound.
He's averaging more than one hit allowed per inning pitched this season, and that's not where you want to be at all. So we'll see how he does here. Part of the order coming through now, and with one home run already in this inning, they're definitely looking to do some more damage.
Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, one of the things that hitters will do is they'll look for that red dot on the baseball as it's coming in to let them know what the pitch is. And if they see the red dot, it's typically a slider. But when a guy's got a really tight one with high spin rates, very difficult to determine. And that's probably why we saw a swing and miss right there. Just a nasty pitch. A couple of pitches and a quick out.
Ottavino, in his 13th season, he features a slider, a sinker, a four-seamer, a cutter, and he works in a changeup. Oh, and it bounces on him at first. Can't pick it up, and the inning's still alive. Now here is Brandon Drury. And the first pitch misses for ball one. They tried to get him to chase on a slider down and away. The 2-1. Line and a base hit into right. Throw in holds the lead runner at second. 2 on now with 2 away. Looks like we've got a substitution at second. Pinch running here. Brett Phillips. Urshela, the next to hit, takes low for a ball. Next offering is in for a strike.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see a visit from the pitching coach here. Just to remind him, focus on the hitter. Don't worry about anything else.
Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. Back here at Citi Field, John Shambi alongside Chris Singleton. Thanks for joining us. We're in the 7th with nobody out. Moore, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Next offering misses, ball 2. Late on that fastball.
Well, I'm impressed with that challenge pitch right there. Even with this slim lead, this guy's not afraid to go right after these hitters.
Goes down looking for the strikeout. He's got to be frustrated with that call.
Well, definitely a borderline pitch right there, and he didn't look too convinced as he headed back to the dugout. You know, those are tough ones to let go as a hitter, but with the human umpire calling balls and strikes, it's always going to be on you to protect yourself with 2 strikes. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride load out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee. Now a huge at-bat in this game coming up.
Scherzer deals. Foul ball still 0-2. And there's a ball.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And a base hit on a line. Lead runner touches second, headed for third. And they'll have runners at the corners after a 1-out single.
Pretty much just a textbook double into the gap. And when you can drop one in there between the outfielders, you know.
Calling for the intentional walk, and that loads up the bases. And the force play is now in order. How big a deal is that walk?
I don't think it's a big deal, because if you pitch to the previous hitter with the power he has, you can hit a home run. I think it was a calculated walk. We'll see how it pays off here.
Next one is off the plate. And the count 1-2.
Don't be surprised. Ball in the...
And a swing and a miss. So he's gotten deep into this game. And at least so far, not showing a ton of signs of fatigue. Wong can't hold up, and that's a strike. Next offering is in for a strike. Now fly ball to right center. Nimmo ranging after it. Squeezes it, and that is that. Welcome back. Starling Marte up to hit. Luis Castillo, a guy who debuted in 2017 with the Reds at 24 years old, multiple All-Star appearances, traded to the Mariners at the deadline in 2022. You think about that triple-digit fastball, but the changeup is the thing that stands out.
Yeah, and you could argue that he's got the best changeup in baseball. From the right side, it's like a Bugs Bunny pitch. It works so well off of his fastball.
Manager at Isaiah Campbell gets the ball now. He's making his 2nd appearance of the season. Here's Brandon Nimmo. Good contact guy, good defender. In the air, fairly deep to right field. Moore has this one sized up and puts the squeeze on that. And there's one down.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
Jeff McNeil stands in. And first offering is fouled off. Here comes a pitch. This one in the air, right field. 2 down.
Lefties can definitely be a little pull happy up there, especially with pitches that they see pretty well. That was a good example. He hooked an outside pitch, hit that ball in the air to right, just not with much authority.
Alonso, the next to hit, takes outside. Throw over to first, and he's back in there. They say you win.
1-1.
Marte leads off first with 2 down to the inning.
2-1.
The 2-1. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Grabs it on the run. And that ends the... And welcome back. A.J. Pollock at the dish. There's the strike.
Well, no base hits in the series for him so far, and it's clearly been a rough one. You just hope he's not pressing too hard, because that just compounds things. It makes the slump even longer. Never seemed to help. Never helped me.
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock.
I'd say a mistake pitch in an 0-2 count. Too good of a pitch to hit right there. You have to expand the zone. Keep that leadoff man off first base.
Now the Mariners catcher, Cal Raleigh. Adam Ottavino getting the call to the mound.
And if you dig into his walk rate, his numbers are really impressive. He's really filled up the strike zone this season, so these guys better be ready to swing the bats.
Next offering is fouled back.
If you're a base runner, you got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt.
Swing, and this is ripped down the right field line. Way back there. Out of here.
He's so good at getting his arms extended, and that's exactly what he did right there. You don't typically want to pull a pitch in that part of the plate, but he doesn't allow his wrists to roll over, stays through the ball, gets the loft, and gets the home run.
Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. And that's a foul ball. The pitch. This one lifted in the air, left field. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's one down.
The right fielder, Dylan.
So the batting order turns over. And now the right fielder, Dylan Moore. And that's in there for strike one. Still only one out here in the inning. Swing and a ball lifted left field. Canna makes the play, and there's 2 away. Here's Luis Guillorme. First offering, and it just misses.
1-0.
Oh,
I don't know how you take that.
that was a strike.
2-0.
In the air, right field. Hernandez settles underneath it. Makes the catch, inning over. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th, Paul Sewald.
And something to be aware of, the long ball has been a little bit of a problem for him this year.
And that one fouled off. The tying run at the plate. Swings and misses. And it's 0-2. Some activity in the Mariners bullpen. Andres Munoz appears to be getting ready for manager Scott's service.
Very dominant with that fastball inside. Hitter's going to be conscious of that. Now you have the outer half of the plate to work with out there on the mound.
Got him swinging.
Pretty big strikeout right there to start this 8th inning. Down 1. Any leadoff base runner really makes this inning a bit more interesting. But now this offense has to switch from possibly trying to manufacture a run to needing to run into something or just try to string multiple hits together to get a run across the plate.
Over to first. Lindor retired. And here's the catcher, Francisco Alvarez. Corner infielders guarding the lines, trying to prevent extra bases. And first offering is fouled off. A little out front there as he swings through it.
No signs of wavering on the mound here in the 8th. He's looking rock solid so far.
In the dirt. Raleigh whips it to first. That's the inning. So they go back here at the ballpark. Now it's going to be Julio Rodriguez. There's a strike. Ottavino goes 6 feet 5 inches, 37 years young. He joined the team as a free agent. Smoked on the ground a second. McNeil gets it to first. Now one gone in the 9th. Suarez in the box here lets that one go for a ball.
No strike.
Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the 9th. Next pitch misses. 3 balls, no strikes. There's a strike. 3-1, and he couldn't come up with it.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. Hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. He can't squeeze it, and it drops in foul. 0-2 as he waves at that one. That's foul off to the right side. Keeps the AB going. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Good pitch right there. I mean, he's attacking a location that this guy at the plate tends to have trouble with. And there's just so much information in this day and age, sometimes too much information. But the guys that can take that information, process it, and then go out there, Boog, and execute the pitch, go right after that hitter, and get the result that they were anticipating, that's really good pitching right there. And it's a good job of the pitcher and the catcher working together.
Hernandez settles underneath it. He's got it. And that is out number 3. New pitcher for the Mariners, Andres Munoz.
He's throwing the ball very well overall this season. He's been really tough to get to. You see that ERA, and that's where you love to be.
And a pitch. And first offering is fouled off.
Well, Boog, this is a real tough place for visiting teams to come in and close out ball games for a win.
In the air out towards right center. Rodriguez settles under it. Puts the squeeze on that one. And there's one down.
Well, such a confidence boost for a reliever to come into the ball game and get the first hitter he faces. Just makes everything slow down a little bit. And then from there can really settle in.
Foul ball.
Power relievers one after another coming out of the bullpen these days. Got to be ready for that first pitch heater.
Ground ball up the middle, and it finds its way through for a hit. So that will bring up the top of the order with one away.
Just a clutch at bat right there. Big time swing when this team really needed it. Just kept it simple. Played pepper with the middle of the infield and took it back where it came from, and there's just no one there to knock it down.
Marte at the plate now. That's ball 1. 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. And that is strike 1.
All season long, he's racked up a number of saves, and sometimes the adrenaline doesn't get high enough until there's a runner or two on base.
Next offering upstairs. Tying run at first. The winning run at the plate. Fouls one away, and now 3-2.
Well, on this count, runner not known for his speed, but I think you got to put him in motion. Try to avoid a double play here, Boo.
Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner from first. Got him swinging. Throw to second. Tag. Out. And that's the ball game.
Forever is
Back here in Queens with Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. Thanks for joining us. Nobody out here in inning number 8. The Mets with a shot to lock up their spot in the postseason. They could do it with a win here today. They did worse being the wild card series, and I'm sure they want to settle that today.
No question, Boo. You get the W today, and you know you're going to be around when the postseason comes. That's a great feeling.
Steer in now. Takes ball 1 off the plate. Check swing went around. That's strike 1. Of course, the division is still in play also, so a hot streak could lift them out of the wild card altogether. Out towards right center field. Hernandez settles underneath it. Snags it for the second out. Here's a speed threat. Stuart Fairchild. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Well, it's critical right here that they bear down and turn in some quality at bats. Try to chip away at that lead, because if it gets to the 9th, that closer's coming in.
This one popped up. Foul ground first base side. And that is that. Welcome back onto the bottom of the 8th. And stepping in for New York, Brandon Nimmo. Antone back to work. On the ground to the left. On the run, throw to first. And that's one away as the leadoff man is out in the 8th. On the ground. Throw over to Votto. 2 up, 2 down. Kevin Biggio up to the plate. Swing and a high fly ball to left. And that'll do it. We go to the 9th, and stepping in is the speedy Ellie De La Cruz. And he deals. In there for a strike at the bottom of the zone. Chris, Edwin Diaz has turned into one of the top closers in all of baseball. Kid who grew up in Puerto Rico, 3rd-round pick by the Mariners in 2012. When he was in Puerto Rico, he grew up playing along with Carlos Correa and Jose Barrios.
Yeah, and Diaz became the youngest pitcher in MLB history to record a 50-save season. He had 57 as a 24-year-old.
Newman batting with 1 down, takes a strike. Next offering is in for a strike. To the right side. Tosses to first. The Reds now down to their final out. Stevenson stands in here, takes ball 1 low. Here's a high fly ball out to center. Nimmo ranging after it. He puts it away, and that'll do it. The Mets take the series opener here at home. So the New York Mets clinch a spot in the postseason with the win, and I'm sure they're thrilled about that, Chris.
Yeah, great to see, Boog. I mean, they've worked hard to get here, but they've still got some work ahead.